So I'm down at Stevenage Armed Forces Day with Andy, one of our veterans from the muster point. Andy, who did you serve with?
I served in the Royal Air Force for 12 years.
Yeah?
Initially signed on for 9, and then I re-engaged to do an extra 3 years, did 12 years.
And how long ago was this?
I left in 1988.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. And what did you do after leaving the RAF?
I went and worked at GC Marconi in Boreham Wood, working on testing parts for the Tornado, radar for the Tornado. And we used to go from Boreham Wood and used to use the facilities at Portsdown Hill, overlooking Portsmouth there.
Yeah.
And I worked with this chap that had been in the Royal Navy, and he'd been a submariner. So, and all the people in the section I worked in Boreham Wood, they're all in different. One was they're all in different sections of the armed forces.
Yeah. So you still had that brotherhood even after leaving.
Yeah, and we all had that sense of humour that we never lose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can relate to that.
And also, they say you left, but you can never leave. You don't actually leave. They don't tell you that part when you join up.
Yeah. You're there for life.
That's right, because you know, and you think. I think everybody's retired. When I see veterans, I think everybody's the same age. I'm the same age as everybody else. You know?
Yeah. So what do you reckon to the muster point? Because as I said, you're one of our regulars. You come every week.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And Tuesdays seem to come around very fast.
That's a good thing, though, right?
It's very good, and it's nice. We're all together, and we form our own platoon,
we do, don't we?
We're all. I feel part of something quite marvellous, really.
Yeah. And does it remind you and give that same feeling that you remember when you was in the RAF?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does, and it goes back to Chris Crew, who was a drill sergeant. He particularly liked me. He always used to F and C at me every sentence.
Well, so you're saying that people swear at you at the muster point, do they?
No, they don't. No. No, but it's sort of it's the sense of humour. That's that dark sense of humour. And when things become more difficult, the humour becomes even darker. People find the funniest thing in the depths of despair, and that there's always a joke to be harvested somewhere.
You definitely had us in stitches last Tuesday, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You were the centre of attention on permanent send for the best part of an hour and a half. It was brilliant to see.
Yeah, because I got. I remember when I passed out of training, I went to RF Neatishead, which is on the Norfolk Broads.
Yeah.
And when you see these people there, you think these people are all eccentric, and you think, well, wait a minute, you end up like one of them,
Yeah.
We're all got this sort of eccentric sort of characters, and you can't take life too serious, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And what do you think of Armed Forces Day today?
I think it's quite good. We've got our own plane here, of course.
Yeah.
And you've got quite a mixture of people there, and you've got all the other stands here.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it?
It's quite good.
And the weather is on our side. Which
weather's
is always
on our side, yeah.
Happy days. Thank you very much, Andy.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Right, so I've just bumped into Stevenage MP, Kevin Bonavia, at Armed Forces Day in Stevenage. We've got the weather. How are you finding it, Kevin?
Well, it's good to see you again, Stu, as ever. I wish I had shorts on like you do. I'm just being a little bit more formal today. But no, I'm loving it because, I'm seeing old friends like yourself and other organisations like SAFA, Royal British Legion, but more importantly, seeing people come here for the first time, seeing particularly kids as well, seeing what the armed forces community are already doing for our country. But understanding it's much more than people, going out there and fighting for this country. It's a community, and it's not just people with weapons, but it's people who are helping the logistics. It's people who are engineers, people who do the cooking. All of that's a much bigger community than most people appreciate out there. And if they don't have family in it themselves, it's something that they might want to be part of one day, and that's great. But they've also got to think that once they leave, there's going to be a community out there for them, and that's the other message from today, I think, too.
That's great. Because remind me, so within Parliament, you've got a connection with the RAF, where you go off and do some training with them.
Yeah. So I didn't know about this until I became an MP, but what they've got for MPs is an armed forces scheme. So you can sign up to one of the 3 services. and they all did the hard sell on me, but the RAF won out because, one, we've got Airbus and MBDA in Stevenage, but two, a lot of the air bases are off these coastlines. So it'll be the guy in charge said, look, Kev, it'll be really easy up and down the East Coast line, and it worked, and I've loved it, and I've seen so much that I didn't.
You heard it here first. The Member of Parliament saying the RAF was the easy choice.
I do know they do get a bit of banter from the others about that, but I'm doing the RAF this year, but I'm just signed up for the Navy next year.
Okay.
So I don't know.
And then the Army the year after, maybe?
Well, best to last, whatever you might want to say, but yeah, maybe.
I know you've had the honour or the pleasure of joining us at the muster point. You came with your team.
Yeah.
And obviously Claire Paris was instrumental in helping Steve and I set up the muster point in Stevenage. But what was your experience of seeing it?
I really liked it because I was seeing people who aren't, I don't mean to use the phrase usual suspects, but the regulars that you might see at more formal meetings like the Royal British Legion. This was a much more informal occasion where it's just a little bit of mutual support. And I really like that, have a tea, coffee, bacon roll, but also where people don't know where to turn, and I need a bit of support or something, and then people just bring their own expertise. Now, you yourselves at Muster Point have now learned quite a lot yourselves about what's out there, what's working and what isn't. So the next thing is finding out how we can change things for the veteran community in Stevenage. And
I think I can honestly say that yourself, your team, Claire, and the council have been brilliant engaging with me. I know I'm constantly in your inbox, but your team respond. So thank you for all the support. Enjoy the day.
Appreciate that, Sue.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Cheers, buddy. Stevenage Armed Forces Day with Tina Benson. What's your correct title?
I'm the Town Centre and Markets Manager for Stevenage Borough Council.
But I believe you have organised this Stevenage's Armed Forces Day today.
Yes, so we've been running now, I think, this has been its 7th year.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that I got together when I first joined the council, and I must say it's been growing from year to year. For me personally, I think it's phenomenal just to actually hear the stories of the vets here. It's really sad. We had a little volunteer guy called Trevor from Let's Make Memories, and he was meant to be here today to kind of get stories from the vets in order to make a Stevenage veterans Let's Make Memories stories. So I'm really hoping we can still continue doing that, even if it's not started from today. Hopefully we can still continue to work with him.
We could have him up at the muster point, weekly breakfast as a central point for him to take the stories.
Tap you in together then. Yeah.
But I was thinking, how much effort does it take to organise an event like this?
It takes a little bit, yes. We've got really good support from Councillor Claire Paris. Obviously, she's the lead for the Armed Forces Covenant. She's a really great support, and it's really nice that the council actually are very supportive. A lot of councils have budget cuts, but actually for us, we've continued to deliver year on year. I'm really pleased that we are able to do this today. Thank you to everyone for coming in this sweltering heat as well. All the cadets in their gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, respect to them.
And that's the thing. I mean, it was going to be an even better day because we were going to have the Battle of Britain fly past. But again, these things out of your control.
It is, really disappointed. But the fact that Stevenage was selected, hopefully now that this has happened, they hopefully should prioritise us next year.
Yeah. What was the reason?
I believe it was to do with because we're in the Luton flight path, so that was down to Luton. So nothing that either of us could do, I guess.
Yeah. So when does the planning start for next year's event?
So we always get the date out fairly soon, so everyone here can pre-book the date in their diary, and then the finer details from the start of the year.
And anything big planned for next year, or just bigger and better?
Bigger and better, but we always get feedback from our traders to let them know, what worked, what didn't. So I believe Chaotic Angels have already said try the Red Devils. They could potentially do some parachutes and other display shows. So
excellent.
Ideas from our traders.
Happy days.
Okay.
I look forward to being here next year.
Thank you for joining us, Stuart. Much appreciated.
Cheers.